It is now time to call the meeting of the July 29th Sun Lakes HOA number 2 Board of Directors meeting. At this time, I'd ask you to please turn off your phones or put them in the silent mode. The agenda for today's meeting was set at last week's agenda planning meeting. Board members and audience, please note that item number 15 on the agenda has been amended. This meeting is being recorded for the accuracy of the minutes. Start the meeting off. I will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So if we can all stand and kiss the flag, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now is for the introduction of the board members. I'm going to ask each member of the board, along with our general manager, to introduce themselves to the viewing audience. Today, we will start with Don Hicks.
My name is Don Hicks. I am a director.
Frank Gould, treasurer.
Roger Beagle, president.
Jason Lasky, vice president.
Hancock, secretary. Bud Jensen, director. Steve Nolan, general manager.
Thank you, everyone. It is with great sadness and extreme sorrow I announce to the Cottonwood community the passing of Woody Nyman on July 19th. He was a homeowner, a fellow board member, a great mentor, terrific friend, a leader and a friend to the board, as well as the whole community. We will surely miss him. I ask those in the audience today and those viewing at home on watching us on live streaming to pause for a moment of silence and reflection in honor of Woody Nyman. Thank you. That one was a hard one to get through. The board members are extremely pleased to announce that Irene DeLisio is our new member of the Cottonwood HOA 2 Board of Directors. The board selected Irene to serve out the remaining term this year created by the passing of Woody Nyman. Irene is not with us today due to a planned vacation with her husband. We wish them safe travels, best of health, and a safe return to our community. I would also like to thank the management team that is in attendance today's meeting. Thank you very much. Since this meeting has no audience except for necessary management and one committee member, I will try and explain the items on the agenda to the viewing audience as we proceed. As we go through the agenda, the board members will be asked if they have any need to ask additional information, have any questions, or need clarification of the agenda items. Now, with all that said, it's time to get started with our board business for the month of July. First on the agenda is to approve the June 24th board meeting minutes. These have been distributed to the board members. Board members, are there any corrections to the minutes? Hearing no corrections from the board members, can I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Any questions? All those in favor say aye. And those opposed? The June 24th board minutes are approved. Next on the agenda is the president's message. As president of your board of directors, I would like to discuss some positive and bright spots for our homeowners and community. The golf courses, green belts, man-made lakes, swimming pools, and other common areas are all in great condition, thanks to all you managers and your staff for continuing your hard work to make them in such good condition for our homeowners. The PV restaurant management staff have been a shining light in our community during this pandemic. I'd also like to say thanks to all the people involved in the Cottonwood restaurant remodel and enhancement. This list includes a lot: management, homeowners which were involved as part of a community input, Deb Katz, a professional designer who was hired for her expertise, other homeowners from Cottonwood Palo Verde community for their comments, input, and suggestions to management, the Cottonwood restaurant remodel and enhancement planning team, and this board of directors. The board is proud of this project, what it will mean to the homeowners of the Cottonwood Palo Verde community. Very soon, we will have both Cottonwood restaurant enhancement remodel and the PV restroom projects underway. Stay tuned for the start dates and progress reports of these projects and others. We are close to the end of our traditional summer, which in Arizona lasts a little bit longer than other parts of the country. But please remember that management will always keep us up to date with the community information provided and in the know in the flyer on a weekly basis. I hope everyone continues to use our community amenities. Remember to always wear your mask and maintain social distancing. Next on the agenda is Employee of the Month. This month, Brad Smith is a supervisor at the Palo Verde Gate. He has a positive attitude and a willingness to go the extra mile as needed. Brad reorganized the entire gatehouse and created a reference book with job description and instructions on how each job at the gate should be done. He keeps the reference book updated so gate officers can readily see changes and other communications from the patrol office. He ensures that each officer understands the electronics that they use every day. He has been instrumental in the implementation, boy, I struggled that one, didn't I? Of the new time clocks and made sure every officer understood how to use the new system. He is patient and approachable to everyone. Brad displays a positive attitude to homeowners that has resulted in a higher morale. Brad sets the example for all gate officers. Brad Smith, thanks for doing a great job at the Palo Verde Gate and for our community. You are deserving of the July Employee of the Month. The board truly appreciates you as an employee. Okay, next on the agenda comes down to Frank Gould.
Thank you, Roger. I'm going to remove my mask so my glasses don't steam up and I can read what I'm trying to say here. The financial report's on the last page of today's agenda. The report contains the financial results for the month of June and year to date, actual versus budget. It also represents our financial results for the first half of 2020. Additionally, this report shows the balances of our various funds and any monthly activity impacting these balances. As with previous reports, we are focusing on two columns contained in this summary: the year-to-date actual and the year-to-date variance, which is a difference between year-to-date actual results and what was budgeted. I'll be rounding off the dollar amounts to the nearest thousand, even though on the report it shows the hundreds. For homeowner services, the year-to-date actual net is $385,000. This is $229,000 better than the budget. For food and beverage, the year-to-date actual net is $11,000, which is $75,000 better than budget. For golf, the year-to-date actual net is $45,000, which is $77,000 less than budget. Overall, the association net, the year-to-date actual is $441,000. That is $227,000 better than budget. So from the overall standpoint, the HOA is doing good. We're doing fine. As mentioned in previous reports, our management team's tight fiscal management has contributed greatly to the HOA's sound financial footing. For the Palo Verde Gate, the year-to-date net is a positive $238, which is $250 better than budgeted. Special funds, the balances are shown and are year-to-date figures. As you can see, all of the funds are healthy. Number of homes sold year-to-date through June is 173. The resulting revenue from these sales is $253,000, which will be added to the capital improvement fund. A copy of this report is available in the administration building tomorrow, but please call, make an appointment if you would like to review it. Questions?
Board members, may I have a motion and a second to accept the pre-audited financial report?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Thank you. We're down to committee reports. The committees are all on hiatus except for the Architectural Complaints Committee. Bud Jensen has a report.
Okay, thank you, Roger. We did have a meeting, of course, but Joanne Barnes and Bill Miller and myself still signed permits, and we have plenty of those. As of June 20th through July 27th, permits approved were 98, permits denied were 0, permit 2 weeks or more past due, date requiring follow-up is 7. There's no recommendation for the board at this time or no recommendation for management. Do I have a question?
Thank you, Bud. Everything is moving along right there in the Architectural Compliance Committee.
Yeah, we are.
Project reports. This is the Cottonwood Restaurant Enhancement Remodel. Don Hicks.
I have some good news. We received the approved permit last week from the county. That's the building permit. We previously received the permit from the health department. We had that in hand. The electrical rough end will be finished in a few days. The data line rough end is finished. All plumbing rough end is finished and approved by the county inspector. All metal stud framing is finished. Windows have been removed and replaced with plywood for security. And for those that are wandering around and thinking that the plywood is going to be there forever, it's not. It's temporary for security. This was done to make ready for the folding doors that are to be installed on the east and a partial on the north side of the restroom. Travertine paperwork has begun on the restroom patio with removal of some of the existing concrete in order to set proper grade. Project is scheduled, and I emphasize scheduled. That doesn't mean it's gonna happen, we hope it will, to be finished by mid-October. At the moment, we feel relatively comfortable with that finish date. Roger, anything to add?
I do not have anything.
Steve,
No, I don't.
questions from the board?
Good report.
Questions from homeowners? And I emphasize for the homeowners that are watching this, they can contact me or Steve with any questions they have. In the military, if you didn't hear a rumor by 10 o'clock, you started one. And there's a lot of rumors flying around about the remodeling project. So please contact me or contact Steve to get the correct information. And that will hopefully stop some of the rumors. That is the conclusion of my report.
Thank you, Don Hicks. Pleasant to hear a lot of those things. Management report, Steve?
Thank you, Roger. It's been another busy month. Facilities maintenance has been extremely busy. First, I would like to welcome our new fitness center manager, London Brewster, to our management team. London worked as a personal trainer at our fitness center. London graduated from California State University with a bachelor's degree in exercise science. When we reopen, London has some exciting new programs planned for our homeowners, and she has promised to try to get the COVID weight off of everyone. So she starts August 3rd as her first day in her office. Doesn't mean the fitness center's open then, but that's when she's going to start organizing her programs. Facilities maintenance has removed 3 storefront windows at the Cottonwood restaurant. There's been a temporary wall, as Don said, built for construction purposes only. They have replaced the Palo Verde Golf patio mister system pumps. They've painted the art painting room. They've repainted it. They stucco repaired the interior walls at the Michigan pool and painted them. They repainted the interior door frames of the Saguaro room. Installed access panel at the fitness activity center over the front main door. They installed an electrical outlet for the new fitness center sign. The new fitness center sign was installed. If you have not seen it, it really looks great. They switched the lights over the Palo Verde dance floor to LED lighting. The housekeeping is performing disinfectant spraying on all pool furniture in the morning and in the afternoon to help combat COVID-19. For the most updated information, please read the flyer and stay healthy. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. There was a question, will the board get to welcome London Brewster at next month's meeting?
Yeah, we can do that. Sure.
We'd like to. Okay. Next on the agenda is the director's comments. Today, we're going to start with Bud Jensen.
Thank you, Roger. I want to congratulate Brad Smith for Employee of the Month. He really is a fantastic employee, as I understand. Thank you, Shirley. And we're welcoming London Brewster anyway. I know we'll welcome her formally next month, but I do want to welcome her to the fitness center manager. And Jim, thank you for all the work you do and your staff. Please give my thanks to them. And that's all I have to say, Roger.
And I'd like to also congratulate Brad Smith. I had a chance to meet him actually the other day at Shirley's office. So nice gentleman, hard worker, and we're very lucky to have him. Also, of course, London Brewster, welcoming her, just like you said. She's not here yet, but definitely will be. I'd also like to just say a welcome to she's not here, but our new board member, Irene, who's just finishing out Woody Nyman's term. And after that, she wants to continue on. She has obviously applied as anyone else would have to do to be a board member. But we certainly appreciate her willingness to step up to the challenge of the task while it is needed. And also, basically, I just want to thank all the homeowners that I see around that are wearing masks and practicing social distancing. I think it's very good, and those of you who aren't, well, all I can say is wise up. That's it.
Okay, just quickly, I want to extend an additional thank you out to all the people who were involved on this project for the Cottonwood remodel enhancement. It's a lot of little detailed work to make something like this happen, and I think that they're doing a fabulous job, and I think everybody's real excited to see this come to fruition. So, thank you guys.
You get to go ahead.
Oh, okay. Three comments. Excuse me. Brad Smith, congratulations, as Employee of the Month. Reading what he's done at the gate's got to be a great improvement from an administrative standpoint. It's got to be a big plus. Second, Steve, I think London Brewster will be a great addition to your staff. I'm familiar with London from the Oakwood Fitness Center, and I think she'll be a great fit for us. And thirdly, one thing that I wasn't, really hadn't thought about, but the golf course. We haven't had any rain since middle of March, so it's been about 4 months before we had last month's rain on Friday. And the course takes a big beating with all the sun, and with the irrigation that we put on it, it still takes a beating. And I'd like to congratulate the golf course maintenance folks, because the appearance and the usability is still very good.
We're going through rough times with COVID-19. People are getting antsy to get out of their homes. But please wear your masks and practice social distancing. It will pass eventually. And when it does, it's going to be because of all of us and all of the people in the United States doing the right thing. I know it's tough. My cocktail hour went from 5 o'clock to 4:30 to 4, and now it's 3:30. So I think when this is all over, I'm gonna have to go to AA and dry out again. I haven't gained any weight though, so that's a good thing.
You start with a stopwatch.
I think my colleagues have said it all. Thank you.
Thank you, directors. Appreciate it. Now, if we come down to capital reserve replacement fund request. First of all is going to be tab 2. Management recommends the replacing of 2 greens mowers at the Cottonwood Golf Course with 2 Toro Greenmaster Triflex mowers. The current mowers are worn out and have served their useful lives. The current mowers will be sold. 3 competitive bids were received for the 2 Greenmaster Triflex mowers from Sampson Norton for $80,688, Professional Turf Products for $86,435, and Turf Star for $101,852. All bidders have the same warranties, 2 years, parts and labor. May I have management recommends the low bid from Simpson Norton for $80,688. May I have a motion and a second from the board members for this recommendation?
So move.
I have a question, Mr. President.
Not a problem, you got the chance.
We are buying 2 Model 3400 greens mowers. Typically in the past, we purchased Model 3100 greens mowers. I was told why we done this, why we upgraded to 3400s. but that was several weeks ago and my memory's fading a bit. So could you bring me up to date on that, please?
Yeah, the two newer units are just simply the two newest, latest models. It's not the top of the line model, but it's just the 2020 version. That's really all I can say is that it fits in well with the equipment that we already have, and it also has parts that match, so we can use currently what we have instead of upgrading the machine.
So it's a slight upgrade from the Model 3100.
Yeah, and the fact that it's newer, it has, it's just a newer model. Instead of a 2015 F-150, it's a 2020 F-150.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions from the board members? We have a motion on the floor and a second. All those, thank you. All those approved, say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, say nay. The motion is approved. Next, we have tab number 3. Management recommends the replacement of the sewer line that ties into the main FEMA Utilities sewer line from the Palo Verde restaurant. This sewer line is failing and it is in need of a replacement. There were 3 bids sent out to Farnsworth Construction, BuildCon, and JP and Sons. Farnsworth Construction submitted a bid for $35,496. The other 2 bidders no bid this project. Management recommends the bid from Farnsworth Construction for $35,496 plus a 15% contingency for $53,224. Total price would be $40,820. May I have a motion and a second to accept the recommendation?
Can I ask a question?
After the motion.
After the motion. Okay.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay. Now we have a motion on the board. Or is any questions or clarifications needed?
I have a question. When do we expect this to get started?
Yeah, as soon as possible. It's R&R work, so it doesn't require a permit. So we're hopefully Farnsworth reaches out to the vendor and they can get us on schedule as soon as they can.
Okay. Now, when this is going on, it's all outside, right? Marshall, there won't be any impact to the restaurant.
For that, there won't be, no.
Yeah, that's what I mean with this.
Well, I'm sure it'll be impacted with some possible small closures, but
There will possibly be a couple of small closures when they have to go and change, and actually the connection from the new line to the old line. So there'll be a little closure, but it should be minimal amount of time.
Thank you.
Any other questions, board members? We have a motion and a second on the floor to approve this project. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion is approved. Tab number 4. Management recommends replacement of the current Z-Master 500 mower with an Exmark 48-inch mower. The current Z-Master 500 has served its useful life and is worn out. Outstanding preventative maintenance program has extended its useful life, and the current Z-Master mower will be sold. 5 competitive bids were received from A to Z Equipment for $13,633, Horizon for $13,669, Simpson Norton for $19,110, Turf Star Western for $19,306, and Professional Turf for $20,830. All bidders offer the same factory warranties. Management recommends the bid from A to Z Equipment for $13,633. May I have a motion to accept management's recommendation?
So moved.
And a second. And a second. Thank you, Don. Any questions or comments or clarifications from the board members?
I have one question, Mr. President. Where will this number be used?
It'd be used around all the smaller common areas. We have the big machine for the 5 lakes, and this will be utilized throughout the whole property.
So it'll be assigned to common area use.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, make sure the viewing audience knows this. This is for mostly the common areas, but used elsewhere around the community.
Yes.
Am I correct, Pat?
Yes.
Thank you very much. We have any other questions from the board members? We have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say nay. Motion is approved. Thank you, Beth, for your information. Item 12 on the agenda, PD Gate Fund, there is none. We are now down to Capital Improvement Fund request. The first one is your tab number 5. Management recommends the remodel and expansion of the current Palo Verde restrooms. The project is to be funded by a split of 67% capital improvement funds and 33% to capital reserve funds. 3 competitive bids were received from Farnsworth Construction for $169,383. BidCon for $270,000, and JP and Sons no bid this project. Any warranty would come from the registrar of contractors. Management recommends the bid from Farnsworth Construction for $169,383, plus a 15% contingency of $25,407. The total price would be $194,790. Farnsworth Construction has been a preferred vendor for our major projects for our association and has been in business in the valley for over 40 years. Now that we have this, can I have a motion and a second for management's recommendation?
So moved.
Second.
Board members, any comments, questions, clarifications, or other information needed?
Only a comment, Mr. President.
Good.
This is something that has been needed for years and years. We have a wonderful operation, wonderful building at Palo Verde. Nice bar, we remodeled all that. Did some remodeling work in the dining room, and we haven't touched those restrooms in there. It's a sorely needed project to bring those restrooms up to code, number 1, and number 2, enhance the appearance of the restrooms to go along with the balance of the facilities. So I'm very, very pleased to be able to see this to fruition. Thank you.
And I will also piggyback this. When I came into committee position in 2014, it was talked about then, and now we're getting there at this point. It is so welcome to see that this is on our agenda and get it done. And I won't say any more. Any other comments from the board members?
I have a quick question. Does this need a building permit or a permit from the county?
It does, and that permit is forthcoming any day.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Good. Voluntary contribution fund, there is none. Next on the agenda, on item 15, this is your tab number 6, the Cottonwood Restaurant Remodel and Enhancement Team recommends the installation of approximately 900 square feet of travertine tile on the Cottonwood Restaurant patio. 2 bids were received from Sculptured Grounds for $14,190 and Miguel's Landscaping for $16,783. The Cottonwood Restaurant Remodel Enhancement Team recommends the bid from Sculptured Grounds for $14,190 plus a 15% contingency of $2,129 for a total price of $16,319. May I have a motion and a second from this recommendation?
So moved.
Second.
Now that we have a motion and a second, is there any questions or comments or clarifications that need to be added?
I have a comment, Mr. President. That seems like a lot of money for only 900 square feet, but there's a lot more to it than just laying travertine tile. So I'd like to ask Jim Miller to speak to that and let you know exactly what has to be done to make all that happen.
Thanks, Don. What's gonna happen out there is be a section of concrete's been taken out. We've already started on some of that concrete out there to remove. We've got to catch the level of the inside of the building concrete, match the existing on the outside to allow these bifold doors for ingress egress of the building to be flat and pass code. This is actually, we're having to remove one door there to raise it up to catch the pitch of that travertine. There will be some actually cultured stone put on the face out there to kind of tie in, like we have a lot of like the building back there. We have the pool restrooms, like the cultured stone on there. There's gonna be some of that type of stone put on there. It's gonna enhance the areas to make it where it's not be slippery. Right now, we've had a couple of issues up there where Marshall can talk about that, where we've had some slip and falls. This should eliminate all that issue.
I have one more question there, Jim.
Sure.
You mentioned this morning when we were talking about this, you mentioned that there's been some extra work the contractor has done. Is that some outside of this?
And he's actually decided to take the concrete a little further out than he was planning on originally. He's not charging us additional, that's part of it. He wants to make sure it's that he feels comfortable with it and be able to warranty everything. So he decided on his own to actually take the concrete out in another section that would be on the the east area. He decided to take that out so everything's a little easier. It was close on clearance, but like he said he does a lot of work out here for us, and he wants to make us happy. So he's doing that on his own.
Very good.
Thank you, Jim. I just wanted the board to realize that it's not just a straight installation of travertine. There's a lot more to it.
There's a lot involved in that. That whole floor is going to come up in the neighborhood about 3 inches out there. That's the bases, that's putting the concrete back where they had to take out, because they have to do good solid base on there. Stoneworks, we actually, around the perimeters can actually be put down. So there's a lot of work involved in this.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim. That helps explain. Board members, are any other questions or comments? We have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed say nay. Motion is approved. Under old business, we have none. Under new business, there is none. There is also no first readings. Since we have no homeowners here, I'm going to end it. Paul, you wanted to say something. I'm the one committee member. Dave Hosevar, would you like to make a comment? And we do
Have a list here.
Kara, make sure that the microphone gets to you.
I did have 4, now it's 5. Residential travertine, I was just looking it up, it's about $15 a square foot, and this is commercial, so that would probably be a little bit more. So that's a good price, I think, so. Number one, we're gonna miss Woody, I'm gonna miss him, so he always used to buzz me every committee meeting, and the 18 months that I knew him, we always kidded and back and forth, so rest in peace, Woody, he's in a better place right now, so. And congratulations to Irene. She'll be a good committee member for us, so. That's number 3. Hey, Marshall, great job with food and beverage and your entire staff. They're doing an excellent job and how they greet homeowners and everything else. Number 4, just a quick update on the ambassadors. They're struggling with you. They're not struggling. They're doing a great job. The Petrillos, Butch and Donna, they're making contact as soon as they get the slips from homeowner services. They're calling the homeowners the best they can. And just making contact. The homeowners are very appreciative. And then they're trying to sort them out to get them to an ambassador. So when the time comes, we can have more contact. So, the new homeowners are hungry for information. And then we are looking at some new technologies. And then myself and with Butch and Donna will be working with permissions of homeowner services, what we can use with their permissions to maybe use some of those technologies. We got a Zoom account set up in the last couple of weeks, but we're not going to do anything without permissions with everyone. So that's what we're looking. We just want to let the board know that it's kind of different. The ambassadors work with part of the board, but also with homeowner services. So it's kind of a quasi group working with people. So just a quick update to the board. So,
We appreciate that.
okay.
We appreciate it very much, and we don't get often enough time to say thank you for the ambassadors.
So, Butch and Donna, they're doing a good job and have oversight over it. And then, but they're driving the car and we at least talk once a week. So, right now,
So that's why you're on the communications committee.
Yeah.
You do communicate very well.
Thank you, sir.
And I want to thank Dave Hosapar for the viewing audience. He's the one that supplies the photos that you get to look at on the website. We want to thank those of you today that are watching on live streaming. We wish all our homeowners to continue to be safe, staying healthy, remember social distancing, masking, and keep informed of what is going on in our community by subscribing to In the Know and the Flyer, delivered to your email on Tuesday and Friday of each week. That seems to conclude our board meeting for this month. I will adjourn this meeting.